Hello, welcome to Bat Signals from the Multiverse, Facebook and YouTube live podcast, shining a light across Gotham, Marvel, and the infinite chaos of comics, movies, and pop culture. Each week, we fire up the signal to talk comic reviews, movie breakdowns, passionate debates, ridiculous games, and the occasional crossover no one asked for, but you're gonna get anyway. And if you miss us live, you can catch us later on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your audio fix. I'm your host, the self-proclaimed Emperor of Awesome, Bradley Butin, and I can't do the episode without my tag team partner. Yes, the unverified twin of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in the eyebrows. The unverified twin of Dave Bautista in the head wrinkles. The unverified twin of Carl Weathers in the mustache.
The flavor savor.
And yes, the unverified twin of Tony Todd in the right earlobe. And you can't forget the unverified twin of Shamar Moore in the nipples.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And don't forget, we ain't got to say it more than once, but also the unverified twin of Roman Reigns in the shoulder tat. All right, my friend.
Yes, absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thanks for joining us this week. As always, I am glad to be Bradley Butin's tag team partner. My name is Brian S. Dennis. Well, this week, the S stands for May the 4th be with you. All right.
It will.
Yes.
Oh,
We're excited. It is May the 4th.
It is May
the 4th. Yes, sir. All right, Big Brad. How you want to kick us off this week, my friend?
Man, let's talk about what we're watching, because I know it's been a couple weeks, so I know we're going to get into the weeds there a little bit. So let's talk about some movies. Let's talk about some comics. Let's talk about some TV that we're watching.
All right, I'm gonna start us off a little bit. So a couple weeks since we recorded. So first off, Invincible. It's just one of the great watches. I know have you caught up with the most recent season? Yeah, I know you were doing a rewatch with your wife. So
I am not all the way through it yet.
Okay,
but I will be very, very soon.
I will tell you this. I'm just gonna say one word. The name is Thrag. If you've seen any social media stuff,
I have.
My goodness. Yeah, I saw one particular content creator that said that Thrag is such a boss that it changed the name of the show from Invincible to Vincible. And it and by the way, the season finale is this probably is the best season. I know you're not there yet. And the season finale just did everything right. On top of that, the boys still going strong there. Which again, have you seen this week's boys?
I have not.
Boys? There are, how can I put it gently? This is a very supernatural episode.
I did see all. Yes, that part
was. Yes,
yeah.
Several.
Did you know?
Several. Go ahead.
What kind of jeans do ghost hunters wear?
No idea.
Paranormal ones.
Oh, that's a groaner. That's good, but that's a groaner. Daredevil Reborn is outstanding. I want to give a quick one for a new one that dropped this week. Bradley, have you been watching Man on Fire, the series based on the Denzel, the movie?
I have not yet. I am that and Apex. I have to get to this weekend. I was so jam-packed. Now that things are starting to lighten up at work, now I'm going to start getting caught up on everything.
Well, I mean, I think I texted you before that it is fantastic. So Yaya, who we know from playing Black Manta in the Aquaman movies, was fantastic as Wonder Man in Wonder Man, but also plays John Creasy in the serialized version, the series of Man on Fire that's on Netflix. He is truthfully becoming one of my absolute favorite actors. This is very similar to me of the kind of the career arc we saw from your guy Alan Hitchison for Reacher. So we saw him playing Hawk in Titans, and then we saw him. I don't know if you saw the movie with Kevin Hart called The Wedding Ringer. He has a bit role in that. Then you saw him just expanding to again Reacher and also War Machine. So again, he's awesome, and again, not knowing where he will figure into the greater MCU, but he is an incredible actor, and I would say MCU, if you're listening, and we know you are, definitely gonna find a place for this gentleman to have a big part in Marvel movies and television going forward. He's a fantastic actor. All right,
nice.
Real quick, I want to give you a big one for a movie. I got a movie you should watch and a movie you don't dare watch. So I'm gonna start with the movie you should watch. So this is not new, but it's been on Disney Plus for a while now. It's called The Life of Chuck. Have you happened to see that?
I have not. I've watched the first like minute and a half, and then everybody decided that because like the cast maybe were like, okay, this looks like something I want to watch, and then everybody's like, no, we're not in the mood for that. So family movie night turned to something else. Okay,
so number one, I got to give flowers to Tom Hiddleston, who plays Chuck, but it is not. So this is one of the things I really implore you, number one, to watch it. Number two, to avoid the movie is not what you think it is. Okay. And it is in a great way. Great way. So True or Tell, Age of 4, in my opinion, steals the movie. Yeah. But it is a fantastic movie. And it's one of those movies that honestly, you see so many people that have some type of connection to the MCU that you go like, so that's a thing. To the level that you almost want, is this WandaVerse? Is this what we're doing? Is it? Yeah, go ahead.
Funny story about that movie is when we had it at the theater, we had it for 2 weeks and sold 4 tickets.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. Yeah. It is one of those movies that obviously probably should have gone straight to streaming just because it's a great movie. It really is, but it's hard to market it effectively. It is one of those movies that if you get, because again, so much of it is you want to keep it close to the vest about what the movie actually is, that the more the movie you show, you run the risk of giving away the impact that people have by watching it. So it's really hard to market. So it doesn't surprise it didn't do well. It probably should have been a direct to streaming. And then another one that had kept showing up on my Netflix suggestion is him starring Marlon Wayans. Yeah. They should have gotten Carmelo Hayes to play in this movie. It would have made more sense. I was telling about this movie to someone short before we hopped on the podcast. To say this movie is ridiculously bad is an insult to movies that are ridiculously bad. I don't get how, and I meant to look it up, and I'm going to do it so I can find it real quickly. I struggle to see how any particular studio put any money behind this based on the script. And just looking at it right now, the movie cost $27 million to make. That is about $26,995 more than they should have spent on it. It is. Have you seen it?
I have not, because every person that I talked to that watched it at the theater was like, don't watch this movie. Yeah.
Not only is it a bad movie, it's just ridiculous. And I mean that by it is so implausibly bad. Like you can make a movie and it just doesn't execute well, or you can make a movie that doesn't resonate with your audience, and we would call it a bad movie, right? Yeah. Versus there are movies that you just go, I don't get how any person reading this script, not only the financial backers, the studio, or the actors, how anyone reading this script would go, yeah, I want my name attached to that. It's not to mention spending $27 million. And the sad thing is, it made $28 million at the box office.
Man, and that actor is really talented. The main guy. Yeah, he was in I Know What You Did Last Summer, and then he was also in Reminders of Him, which happens to be the unofficial sequel. So you got him, and then Reminders of Him. And the third one, will that be Don't Forget About Him?
Yes.
I don't
So
know.
yeah, so his name's Tariq Withers, and he by himself is a good actor. Marlon Wayans is a good actor.
Yeah.
But the
And
plot,
jacked.
yes, the plot, and they have a few training scenes in it where Marlon Wayans, both of them are quarterbacks. So Marlon Wayans is a current, not the NFL. There is no NFL in this world. It's whatever the professional football league of this movie is. He is a current professional quarterback, and then the character played by Tariq is a getting ready for the draft college superstar college quarterback. They both, if nothing else, they both in scenes where their shirts are training look like they could be professional athletes. So give Marlon Wayans, who I always like to point out was the original choice of Robin in Batman Forever. So they committed to the physical aspects of it, and they both acted as best they could with the material they were given. They should have never. No one. I blame the writer and director. I think Jordan Peele was involved in this, which is sad. I really like Jordan Peele's work. They probably made the best of what they got. They were just, to say when you're giving lemons make lemonade. Well, sometimes you're giving crap. It's hard to make it, lemonade. So
yeah.
So check out Life of Chuck. Definitely don't check out him.
But we are getting Scary Movie 6, and this looks so freaking amazing.
Which would do it. So, by the way, the scariest movie I probably have seen for not any type of good reasons was him. See what I did there? Okay. All right, my friend. What about you? What are going to be your what you're watching, what you're loving, what you're reading?
Dude, a couple things, man. I'm all caught up in my Batman comic books, which is good. Also, yesterday was Free Comic Book Day, so I hope you got to your comic book store and got all the freebies, and then also bought some stuff that wasn't free.
Of course.
Yep. And dude, Maul. Are you watching Maul?
I am. I think I'm.
There's 2 episodes left that come out tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
On Star Wars, which I think we'll talk about that in a second.
Yep.
Dude, Maul is some of the best. It's on my list. I mean, like, it's going to be a contender for best adult animation, because this is not really for kids. I mean, it's for us that were kids when episode 1 came out in 1989.
From watching Maul, in my head it was like kind of like when they did, I don't know if you ever watched the really short the MCU short called I think it's either Hail to the King or Return to the King, where they basically start to fix Trevor of like, we're really sorry of how we treated the Mandalorian and Trevor in Iron Man 3, and we started to rehab that we got to see in Shang-Chi and then in Wonder Man. This very much is like, we're sorry for episode 1. Yeah. Like, we know what we did. We tried to fix it in Clone Wars. Yesterday I did a rewatch of episode 1 and episode 2, and I was texting through some of it. And one of my son's friends came over right when episode 2 was finishing up, and he talked about how much he loves episode 2. So I go, "How old were you when episode 2 came out?" And he goes, "He was in elementary school." I'm like, "That would make sense.
That's why.
That's exactly why." I watch this as a grown ass adult, and I go, "Huh." And again, is it offensive? No, it just wasn't on par. But you know what? We kind of romanticized episodes 4, 5, and 6 because we were kids when those came out. So I'm sure it's all relative. So, but also Empire, baby. All right, my friend.
Also, I watched last night. We went and saw Devil Wears Prada 2.
How was it?
And I didn't hate it, man. Like, I went in expecting like a 3 or 5. I thought it was going to be okay. I thought it was going to be okay to good. Okay. Man, I actually really enjoyed it. It was good. I mean, like, Lady Gaga has a cameo in it, and she's in like fishnets and everything like that. I'm like, why in the hell is she not Black Canary?
Yes.
Why in the hell is she can sing?
Yes. I mean, on the realm of that, I saw on a social media reel someone using AI had basically did a live action version of Thundercats, and it suggested Silverhawks, and suggested who should play the various characters of it. And so Henry Cavill plays Quicksilver, The Rock plays Steel Will. But you mentioned Lady Gaga. It actually cast Lady Gaga playing Melodia, who was later had the guitar. So I'm like, okay, And so anyone familiar with Silverhawks, if you're not familiar with Silverhawks,
there's a comic running about it right now.
Yeah, so I could see her completely. That she owes us for Joker too. She owes us.
Now, did you know? Now, are you following the Energon universe in Image Comics?
Not really, but tell me.
So the Energon universe is the shared universe between G.I. Joe and Transformers. You got the G.I. Joe, Transformers, and Void Rivals. Well, that's expanding to Mask. Mask is joining this.
Yes.
So they actually have a free comic book for Free Comic Book Day of it. So I'll check it out and let you know.
Beautiful.
One last thing I have to mention, because I did mention on the last podcast. Are you a fan of children's books? Because I have written a new children's book.
Yes, you have.
It is called When My 9 Lives Are Gone. And it's about my cat, Yo-Yo, who put to sleep a few years ago because he was old and it was time. And it's about the 9 life lessons that your cat must teach you before it goes. And if you like it, check it out on Amazon. Reach out to me. I'll point you in the right direction. It's fantastic. It's a good time. There will be a little bit of ocular perspiration for sure. Other than that, man, I think we should probably start talking some WWE before we get into, all the things.
All right. So we're going to do kind of a 2-for-1 recap of the WWE. We did not record last weekend, so I'm just going to do a quick catch up of the Royal Rumble, WrestleMania nights 1 and 2. So, Bradley, I went through and saw what we went through. So, of the 13 matches that they held between night 1 and night 2, we were only wrong on 2 matches, and they were both on night 1. So, the only matches that neither you or me called the correct ending was the Fatal 4-Way for the women's tag team titles, which I think we should get a mulligan because we both know the reason that match worked out was the return of Paige. Had it not, I think we would have been correct there. And then the ending of the Cody Rhodes Randy Orton match where Cody retained. And if you listen to any wrestling podcast like I do, no one understands why that was the finish of that match for a lot of ways. But it doesn't. But it looks like we may get no more Pat McAfee for a while. So that by itself may be, hey, you know what? Randy deserves his 15th. Have no idea why they went the other way. And especially if you watch SmackDown this past Friday, sounds like maybe Randy's taking some time off. We've not seen him since that. But if you look at kind of the way SmackDown happened, then it sounds like Randy. It looks like there's no plans for a rematch at least anytime soon. All right. With that being said, we went through, without me going through the entirety of both cards, the only big things that really happened was we had a brand new world heavyweight champion in Roman Reigns defeating CM Punk, which is probably the best match of the weekend. And then the other big news is that we saw, I think, one of the best ways of how you build a new wrestler in the Obafemi Brock Lesnar match. And not only did it set up Obafemi as truthfully some of the WWE is putting some money, some power, and some back behind, as they should. He has earned that. But also we saw at the end of that, while not in the ocular perspiration, all respect to appeared to be retiring Brock Lesnar. So
the first of many cutoffs.
Yes.
Yes. We probably shouldn't talk too much about that, but hey.
True. So then as we get back into it, I'm just going to run through with this coming Saturday. We are going to have another premium live event, which is the new term instead of pay-per-views for the W called Backlash.
Yes, and hopefully the matches are longer than 3.5 minutes.
Yes. Oh, wow. By the way, hang on. Did I have match times? I did not write down match time. But yeah, though I did listen to, I think it was the Jim Cornette podcast. Now, the Roman Reigns CM Punk was a great match. But it's still to point out, if you look at the entrances and then some of the before the match things that happened, it was 18 minutes before the bell rang. So from Roman Reigns' entrance music hitting to the bell ringing, it was 18 plus minutes.
Yeah.
That is longer than most of the matches we had on the card.
Yeah.
That was
just at night one.
Yes.
I think,
yes.
I think night two, like there was a lot less ads. I think
yes,
they saw the heat.
Yes, as they
and
should.
they're like, you know what,
yes.
we're going to have to back off a little bit. We're going to, yeah.
It makes me wonder what SummerSlam will look like, which is going to be in our neck of the woods, going to be up in Minneapolis here in August. I'm curious what SummerSlam, which is also 2 nights, what SummerSlam will look like. And again, before we go any further with this, we do, because we talk about wrestling on this podcast every podcast we do, and we share some of our favorites. We do, and Brad, I know I broke the news to you yesterday. We do have to just say thank you to 2 of our absolute favorites, in Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, who were the remaining members of the New Day, who asked for their release from the WWE.
Yeah.
So whether they stay a duo or go their separate ways, congratulations to lots of fantastic memories for a gimmick that was doomed at the beginning. They made, especially when Big E was there, they made the New Day into something very cool. Right up there with the Usos as one of the better tag teams of the last 10, 15 years. And then, unfortunately, injury ended Big E's career. They did the best they could as a duo. The WWE fumbled their heel turn, which could have reignited the team. And then they had some injury bugs, but both of them are fantastic. And especially Kofi Kingston, who even if you take out the New Day part of his career, is a bona fide Hall of Famer. And Xavier Woods, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta turn the page. All right. Okay, so here's the Backlash card, my friend.
It's kind of funny that Paige is back now, though.
I was curious about that. I was like, what was the timing on that? He was like, hey, I got to get out of here, man.
Like,
I got to get out of here.
Can't do it. I mean, like, literally can't do it anymore.
Yeah. So anyway, for those of you who are not wrestling fans and maybe don't this from your story, you can just research Xavier Woods and a wrestler named Paige.
Yeah.
Just make sure you don't do it on your work computer.
Yeah.
And you will see what we're talking about, or not. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we have 5 matches for Backlash. Here are the 5 matches. We'll just do our quick head and heart picks on what we think they are. So
sure. All
right. So as of right now, we'll just jump to the last match listed, but I'm sure it will not be the last match of the night. But right now we talked before, we have a tag team match where The Miz and Kit Wilson will take on our friend Danhausen, who has a tag team partner to be named later. So, Brad, who do you think? Let's be real. Danhausen's team's winning the match, right?
Oh, 100%.
It would make no sense, right? But who do you think will be Danhausen's partner?
I have a theory.
Okay.
I have a theory.
Is it theory? Is it awesome theory?
Well done. So, I think that he's going to offer people, and people aren't going to want to do it, whatever, or they're going to make it whatever. So I think when he's going to get there and he's going to say his name and he will appear, Joe Hendry.
Perfect.
And I think that's going to help them get out. And you know what? I am a believer of Joe Hendry.
Yes.
I believe in Joe Hendry. Like right now, like Joe Hendry and Danhausen are probably 2 of my favorite wrestlers.
Yes.
Right now. I was in heaven last week when Joe Hendry was singing. Like I mean, his song's been stuck in my head all week, as it should have been.
Yes,
but
better his song than Liv Morgan's song. Absolutely. Yes.
Right.
Great video. Wonderful video. Horrible song. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm thinking Joe Hendry's gonna end up being his partner.
That would make perfect sense. And Danhausen, when he first debuted, and they had the crate thing, and I was like, this is stupid. And then they have made if you learn anything about the guy who his last name actually is Danhausen, the gentleman who is behind the Danhausen character, Danhausen gimmick, he's a really cool guy, and very gracious and very open, and someone that you want to root for. And more every week, I just find more. I mean, he's funny, not to the point that he's making the business look stupid. Yeah. He's not out there trying to win the world title. He knows that less is more, and it resonates. So good job out of him. All right.
Who do you think is going to be his partner?
Hearing your theory, I'm going to go also with Joe Hendry. And
they're winning, yeah, of course.
And they're winning. But I also thought it might be nice that if no one shows up, because right now he's not on the card. So if no one shows up, and then Miz and Kit Wilson start to maybe attack Danhausen, and next thing you know, they hear the drums, and then we see, just to come out there and he beats the snot out of Miz and Wilson and just tags in Danhausen to get the pin. But I think it's far more likely for it to be Joe Hendry, but you never know, because Oba right now is not on the card. That could definitely change. We still have another Raw to go, but if not, we may see Oba Femi show up, or we may just see Oba Femi use his open challenge. He'll just show up and let someone come out here and wrestle. Okay,
I think there's a good chance of that happening too.
Next up, we've got Trick Williams defending the United States Championship against Sammy. By the way, RIP to the Gingerbread Man. Again, something that should not work and be so stupid is the Gingerbread Man gimmick that Trick has done. He made it work. But also, when we talk about folks who are making the most of opportunities, Trick Williams has done that so well since debuting. I mean, he is a mid-carder, but I was really thinking how quick he went from debuting as a heel to being turned babyface and becoming the United States champion at WrestleMania. He's fantastic. And again, I love the way, if you ever catch any of his interviews, he is in a relationship with Lash Legend. He also points out that apparently his game is legendary. So good job out of you, Trick. So
I hated his WrestleMania entrance. Was horrible. Reminded me of freaking toilet paper.
It was long. It was
bad. I mean, that. Okay, I'm gonna say this. I like Penta more than I like Trick Williams right now.
Wait, not just the entrance. You like Penta as a whole more than Trick?
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
I gotta say, but I'm also gonna say this. Penta, I'm starting to come around. I'm starting to grow on me.
That's fair.
I'm starting to see it because I don't hate Trick Williams at all.
Right.
But that WrestleMania and just that freaking toilet paper. Every time I see him now, that is burned into my brain, where it's just the toilet paper roll is getting empty.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Gotcha. Well, I love the fact, again, the Gingerbread Man, the Lemon Pepper Steppers, all that. And he can go from kind of being a little tongue-in-cheek to getting this. Now that he's a baby face again, but not like a good guy baby. Just a person you want to cheer. You still got a lot of that jerk in him, which I think is good. And again, the crowd to whoop that Trick. So who do you see winning, Trick versus Sami Zayn? Head and heart picks for the US title.
My head and heart is both gonna go to Trick Williams.
As of mine.
Yep. Sammy needs to take some time off.
And I think that's what they're building towards. Yeah. I think that's what they're building towards. He's doing his best to put over a new guy. I think honestly, I don't know if this is in the cards. I think at some point we may see Sammy go to maybe more of a managerial role. That's how you started with the Bloodline. Yeah. I think that could be really good for him. Like I associate him with someone. What about, and I don't know what they're doing long term, Randy. What if it turned out that now that they get whatever the plan was for Pat McAfee, that obviously they could see the writing on the wall and got rid of that? What if now Sammy was some type of manager or support of Randy Orton? So instead of everything that you thought maybe Pat McAfee would do, if that was now Sami Zayn. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, you know what? I like that actually. I would not hate that.
That could actually work. All right. And someone that could get physical in a match, you would actually believe it. All right. Io Sky versus Asuka. Who do you got?
Man, I'm still bummed about Kairi
Sane. Yes. I still want Asuka just to yell Kairi one more time. Like, Kairi! Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. And then she gets fined, or Asuka's out too. Yeah. Then they're all head back to New Japan. Yeah. I'm going to say head is going to, you know what? Head and heart is going to say Io Sky.
All right. Okay. I'm saying head and heart Asuka, because I think they're probably trying to build Asuka. So, and maybe this is, and I don't know if this is the plan, but potentially having Io fall back under the tutelage of Asuka a little bit, and the way that you get there is Io not being able to defeat Asuka. This could be determining someone next up as a top contender. Asuka is underutilized the last few years, so rebuilding Asuka as the badass that Asuka is. Then we've got the final two matches. We've got Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker. Breaker will have Paul Heyman in his corner. Who do you got? The badass of Braun Breaker or the visionary Seth Rollins?
This is a tough one because I can actually see this one going both ways.
Truthfully, yep.
In my head and heart. I mean, so I'm gonna say in my heart pick is gonna be Seth freaking Rollins.
Okay.
In my head pick, I think it's gonna make more, especially now that Breaker is back and he's promoting the Vision. I think it's gonna be Breaker because I think now they're trying to put the Vision back together.
Yes.
But I think something is gonna happen with Seth Rollins on that side. Whether he's got somebody coming back or like Big Bronson Reed's gonna come back and not the way that they think, or something. There's gonna be some type of, maybe one of these new guys is gonna come in on Seth's team.
Sure.
Or and help out because
it's a tough one. Yeah, I agree with you. This to me was the hardest one to pick of the night. I'm actually going head and heart with Braun Breaker just because I think what we'll see. Pardon me. I think for two reasons is number one, I think if Seth wins the match, this is their first match that ends the angle, like it's done. Like there's no reason for there to be any other matches.
That's true.
Versus if Breaker wins, especially if Breaker wins with some interference, like let's say Bronson Reed is back. I know Bronson Reed had to have surgery on, I believe it was a separated or torn bicep. I'm sure that takes a while to heal, but even if he's just out there to distract, so Breaker can hit a spear and get the pin and then set up maybe some additional matches down the line. So I'm going with Braun Breaker, but I agree with you. This one really was hard to pick. And then the main event, which is Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu. Who do you have in this one? Head and heart.
As much as I really love Jacob Fatu,
all gas, no brakes, my friend.
He doesn't, but I don't think that they're not gonna give Roman Reigns a title to have him lose it in
3 weeks later. Yeah.
So head and heart are gonna go to Roman Reigns.
Yep.
And I think like especially because they let go some of the family.
Yes. They let go of Tonga Loa, which no one's really regretting that release.
Right.
But I'm sure some people in his family are. But he was probably at least in ring the least skilled and was known for having some botches and hurting people. And then poor Josh Cobbs or JC Mattea didn't even make it a year. There, and I thought there was definitely room to keep him. So at this point, the MFT is Solo, Tala Tonga, and then I'm assuming Tama Tonga at some point. Tama Tonga was not released; we just not seen. Tama Tonga, and I'm sorry if I butchered his names. Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa are siblings, so who knows? He may not want to be there without his brother. You never know.
Yeah.
But I agree with you in that Reigns for having over a 1,400-day reign is not, while I don't see this championship reign lasting another 1,400 plus days, I don't see him losing it in 3 weeks. This is definitely meant to further a bloodline adjacent feud here, unless maybe Drew interferes on behalf of this, but I don't think it'll be a clean victory for Roman Reigns, but I don't see Roman Reigns dropping the title. So I get the feeling either some type of outside interference or something happens, but he does defeat Jacob Fatu and retain the championship. And as always, we will acknowledge him. All right, my friend.
What do you think, before we move on, what do you think of the Usos? Just going right back into and I know that Reigns has said that, like, no, this is different. You guys are your own thing. I'm my own thing right now. But is it?
Well, I think here's what's happening. The WWE is well documented that they're not there. By the way, they're not in the dumps, but they're not selling out the way that they were before. Like, here's a hint: when they don't tell you it's a sellout, it's not a sellout. Neither night of WrestleMania sold out, and that's got to be the first time in several years that has not happened. And it was also a lackluster WrestleMania on top of that. I mean, night one especially was Monday Night Raw. It really, really was.
Yeah.
So
actually, the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania was better than night one.
Was much better. Yes. Yeah. And so I think what they're trying to do is capture magic. Unfortunately, that meant that they put Jay back in a tag team. And they trying to, hey, if we bring back the Bloodline, because they were doing hot business with the Bloodline, can we get lightning in the bottle twice? They do have to put a tweak in this, or this is going to feel like a retread. The other part of it is, if you watch the Usos, Jimmy seems to be far more, hey, I'm gonna follow the orders of the tribal chief. Jay is much more, you got, if somebody's got to stand up to Roman. Like, he's not anti-Roman. He goes, don't just do what Roman says because he's Roman. So I think there's gonna be something more down the line. I would feel better if they were still tag champs, or at least were wrestling in matches that mean something. Right now, they're going out doing promos and kind of getting beat up. I mean, truthfully. So they're better than that. So I'm not loving the angle right now, at least the involvement of the Usos. I think both of them are capable of doing more than that, especially Jay. I think Jay 100% has all the skills to be a top tier main event.
And he was
for a world champion. Yeah. So I think we want to see that return. What this may turn out to be, and I don't know what the long-term plans are, but what if we started seeing themes where Roman, for the next few pay-per-views or PLEs, has to defend the championship against a member of the family? So he's defending it against Jacob here. I think Money in the Bank would be the pay-per-view after that. So what if that was Solo? And then depending on what happens at SummerSlam, what if that was Jay? Maybe we get that. So maybe that's his way of putting over the family. Or what happens if, again, when we get to Money in the Bank, what if Jey Uso? I really like Jay. So I want somehow to turn into something for Jey Uso. What if Jay gets the briefcase, and then that becomes the undercurrent of Jay? Are you going to cash in on your big cousin? So
yeah.
But right now, where they're at, not a big fan. I think there's more to be done with both of them, especially Jay.
And before we move on from WWE, I have got to give some love to the Street Profits. Holy cow. They haven't had matches, but their presence is very, like, they are coming in, they are cleaning house.
Yes.
So these are both people that should be on singles runs.
Yes.
I think right now they are better. Yes. They look better. They feel better.
Yes.
Than pretty much like all the other tag teams right now.
And even though they did not have a match at WrestleMania, thanks to Bianca Belair, Montez Ford's presence made an appearance at WrestleMania.
Absolutely, dude. Okay, so Bouncy. I would be okay if Bouncy was Danhausen's partner as well.
Oh, that would be good. Devon Evans. And that's another thing. And so every year when they bring up folks from NXT, there's always some people that take and people that don't. But this last round of call-ups from NXT, really with Trick, with Devon Evans, honestly with Lash Legend and her partnership with Nia Jax, you can go back to Braun Breaker, and there's so many. Honestly, even Fatal Influence, which I wasn't a big fan of on NXT, got to give them credit. They're at least booking them strong, at least the first few weeks with JCJ and her group. They sound like they're trying to put a concerted effort of this, because here's the deal. Cody Rhodes is 40 years old. Randy's in his mid-40s. Sam is in his mid-40s. Roman's in his early. He's a little bit older than Cody. It's right between Cody and Randy in age. They've got to start having some people that can really connect. I think with Obafemi, you've already done that. But and when you got the retirements of Cena, AJ, they've got, now with the New Day being gone, you've got to really start building some new talent. So whether it's Tony Khan or Triple H or whoever, I'm glad that you're seeing these NXT folks getting a chance. Hopefully that becomes a standard for these folks going forward.
Yeah, cool.
All right,
man.
And Danhausen, We just want to stay on your good side because neither of us want to be cursed. Okay.
Very nice, very evil.
Very nice, very evil, and you are definitely 300 pounds.
We are we love you very, very much. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Brian, are you ready to put together our Mount Rushmore of adult animation shows?
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
All right, man. Where do you want to start? I know there's a lot of different types of animation shows.
Yes, yes.
I think we have to put. Do we consider Simpsons in that list? Because I think it could go both ways.
Yeah. So the way that I looked at it is, what are the animated shows that as an adult there's something for you that you can really dig. Now it could be, and when we talk about some of the ones that I have kind of on my list as jotted down here, that the content of the show makes an adult oriented show. Like kids should not be watching it. But you can also have really great shows that just speak to adults, almost like an animated sitcom. Like an adult can watch this and they can enjoy it. And for me, I would definitely, The Simpsons was actually the first one I put on my list. It's kind of the OG of that. That whether it makes our final four is to be decided. But I would say, for me, definitely a show like The Simpsons that's been on for 30 plus years. Maggie's still a baby. Bart reached his 7th graduated high school. But I would say The Simpsons is at least worth mentioning just for the old school OG status that they have in this area.
So I feel like this is like there's a category here. Like in the Simpsons category, you have stuff like South Park, Family Guy, and even probably Rick and Morty are probably all going to be fitting into that same category. Absolutely. And I feel like they're all going to be vying for one spot because I don't think that we're going to give two of those spots away.
Right. I think you'd also put like a show like King of the Hill in there as well.
Futurama as well. Beavis and Butthead. Yeah.
Yes. So by the way, real quick, I was probably one of the few people that didn't really dig Beavis. Okay, I like Beavis and Butthead. I just like, as soon as I got into Beavis and Butthead, then they throw the music video, and I'm like, just give me Beavis and Butthead. Just give me Beavis and Butthead.
I am a great Cornholio.
I used to watch this waiting for Cornholio. Like, just give me Cornholio. But yeah, I agree with you that you could put, and again, I try the same way as you. I think you put The Simpsons, American Dad, Family Guy, King of the Hill, Rick and Morty. I think you're right. Those all kind of fit the same kind of mold. So you're right. I think that's a spot. Yep.
So who gets that spot though? I mean, do you go with Simpsons because this is the OG? But we were talking about adult. I think honestly, I think South Park probably deserves it more than The Simpsons.
I do, but I also think that if you just focus on adults, but I also think South Park is one of those shows that it captures you at a very specific part of your life. So for me, South Park was what was must-see television for me when I was in college. Like 18 to early 20s. Yeah, I couldn't wait to say, "You killed Kenny, you bastards." Like, I just couldn't wait to see that. To watch Cartman go off. The Ginger episode of South Park is one of my all-time favorites. Then they did stupid thing like they killed Chef. But I will say it's one of those shows that I don't think ages well with the audience.
That is true, because I mean, like,
Simpsons does that better than South Park does.
You're right, because like back then, like, I'm like you, like, I used to like take time out of my day to say I have to watch South Park. Yes, I don't do that anymore.
Absolutely not. In fact, if I see it on, I probably don't even stop. Like, all right, South Park,
Okay, so with that, so let's go to the next one: South Park or Family Guy.
See, for me, if we say Family Guy, I cheated a little bit. So when I wrote Family Guy on mine, I had to go American Dad / Family Guy because Seth MacFarlane's behind both of them. They have a lot of crossover, and I go back and forth on which one of them I like better. Usually depends on the year or circumstance. I would say if anything was going to top Simpsons for me, it would be, honestly, I think, Family Guy. But if you don't have The Simpsons, do you have either American Dad or Family Guy?
You're right. You know, you're 100%
this
right.
Is one of those things like who opened the door, right?
So I guess Simpsons does have a place.
Yeah.
Obviously, I guess.
Yes.
Because you don't get all those other great shows like Futurama, any of that stuff without The Simpsons. So
and just remember, The Simpsons also goes down in television history as being the first show to unseat the Cosby Show. as the
Yeah.
top show in that time slot in the 80s. And I know Bill Cosby's hella problematic, but understand that on Thursday nights on must see TV for those key demographics, it was the Cosby Show and everybody else by a mile. And The Simpsons, this silly animated show that started off as bumper material on the Tracy Ullman Show, top that. And The Simpsons, again, now that we've had so many other shows, we don't maybe have forgotten the perspective of how edgy and cool The Simpsons was and still has a lot of that. So yeah, for me, I definitely put Simpsons as a slot on the Mount Rushmore.
What do you think with that? You also have those shows like Archer, those Cartoon Network shows.
Yes.
And the Fox shows like Archer. Did you watch Archer?
I'm a huge Archer fan.
Me too, because like that Archer was all I thought of Archer before I thought of Simpsons.
Okay.
When we were going to this, I'm like,
yes.
Is there a place for Archer in the Mount Rushmore of adult animation? And I don't know. I mean, like it's edgy. It the voice acting is great.
Yes, John Benjamin, and it was so funny. I was watching. I think it's a show called Hacks on HBO. That John Benjamin.
Is that good?
Hacks is definitely really good. It's really good. But so John Benjamin, who voices Sterling Archer, and I can remember the guy Bob from Bob's Burger. That's such a unique voice that I was watching Hacks, and I happened to not be looking at the television when this particular scene comes up, and I hear Sterling Archer's voice. I mean, that Archer voice. I mean, Archer was on before Bob's Burger, so when I flipped on Bob's Burger, I'm like, oh, it's Archer. Like that voice, you can't. And they also did a quick little. They did like a one-off crossover between the two. But John Benjamin looks nothing like. I mean, he looks closer to Bob than he does Archer. So I'm just like, all right, yeah. But just those iconic voices. Archer is real. Archer would be there. So for me, I would put Archer. While it's not the same show, but I would go like, is there? When you look at other shows that again are edgy, and these are, I would say almost the. If we start like the ones that are most family friendly, but adults will like, I think that's the category we just talked about. Now we're getting to the ones that might be more middle ground, like these are really at least be a teenager to watch it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking you got shows like I think you got shows like Archer. I would say the Boondocks,
BoJack Horseman.
BoJack Horseman's a good one when it comes to
Robot
that.
Chicken,
Aqua Teen Hunger Force. I think
Big Mouth.
One of the shows, Big Mouth is a good example, and one of the shows that made my honorable mention list was the Squidbillies. I don't know why. And they were like 10-minute episodes. I always loved the Squidbillies. If you've never seen the Squid, it was a.
I've never seen this.
It's an Adult Swim show. Basically, took the worst parts of like stereotypical living in the mountains, all those hillbilly tropes, and made it with squids, animated squids. And it's one of those shows that there's no beginning, middle, or end. It's just its stuff.
Okay.
And it's so non sequitur, so stream of conscious, so like, hey, I'm just gonna take. And all of the episodes like 10 minutes. Like it was bumper material under Adult Swim. But my God, they were so funny. So I think we had to pick that middle ground show. I think we could at least put a pin in it for particularly Archer, because also, and I think Archer falls with that next generation of those shows. So I think we could definitely do that. And Archer also did such a great job of kind of trying to integrate who they were as people into the show, and the show changes. The show changes from the agency to them working in the submarine and all the different things. So Archer might have to be a rewatch later on. So I'm good putting a pin in Archer. All right. So I've got to bring this one up. So now let's talk about, again, those shows that really are meant for adults. Okay. So we talked about South Park about this earlier, but South Park is there basically for the idea of language. But then what about a show like Invincible? Okay.
So
It
yes,
is,
we
yes,
let's go there.
yes,
I obviously Invincible's 100% in the Mount Rushmore of
yes,
adult animation.
yes.
Yeah, I like you're gonna get no pushback from me
Yes.
about Invincible.
Fantastic
Invincible's-
voice acting, fantastic animation,
Yeah.
great source material. And it's not honestly just violence for violence. Sometimes with South Park, you go, they're just trying to shock you.
Mm-hmm.
The violence and the things in Invincible, that's why I can't wait for you to catch up with its current season. It speaks to a larger point. And just the trials and tribulations and the character development that not only Mark but Nolan goes through as Invincible and Omni-Man is so incredible. And even a drug poor Oliver along for the ride.
Yeah.
So yes, I think we're in agreement. We're gonna put a spot on our mountain for Invincible. So right now we've got two definites in The Simpsons and Invincible, and right now we've got a maybe for Archer. All right.
So, and this might actually be cheating a little bit. What do you think about Batman the Animated Series?
That was my next one I was going to mention.
Was it really?
Was the next one I was going
because
to
I
mention.
know it's not technically adults.
Remember, it's if adults dig it, if adults like it. And I would. Yeah, go ahead. I'll let you.
No, I was just like, I do. You can watch. You could watch any episode of Batman the Animated Series at any time, and you're not mad at yourself.
Yes. So I meant to do this earlier, so I'm going to do this right now to kind of illustrate your point. Is Batman the Animated Series? It debuted in just pulling up here real quick. I thought we were gonna tell me it's not open the link and it did not. So Batman the animated series debuted in 1992. It is 2026. So I was a kid when Batman the Animated Series debuted, and when that show started, I would race home to make sure I was there, and that theme music still lives rent free in my brain, right?
Yeah.
I now in my 40s can pick up at any point in time Batman the Animated Series and enjoy the episodes just as much, if not more, and for different reasons. And I think that's the key to what we're doing with this particular listing is shows are not, that's why South Park did not make the list, because you had to watch it. You as a person, as a viewer, had to be at a certain point of life, mindset, what have you, to really get a lot of enjoyment out of South Park. And after a while, it just becomes noise. That's why we don't really watch it anymore. Batman, you're talking about two guys who do a podcast on Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, all the things. We understand that. So we are definitely the target audience. But we also aren't the same people that we were in 1992 either.
No.
And because of that, and for the show to still resonate, not just for nostalgia. Oh, I remember when I was sitting there reading Frosted Flakes and Doug. No, I still, and it's a deep show.
It is.
Again, and similar to what I just said about Invincible. The animation is fantastic. Especially, this is 90s, early 90s. Voice acting is fantastic. The themes. And again, it was a show that had heavy themes, but they presented in a way that a middle school kid could dig, that a parent can dig now, and you can also sit down with your kids and watch it and enjoy it. So for me, Batman the Animated Series gets a third slot on the mountain.
Yeah, because I mean, we also have more with the adult stuff. We have stuff like Castlevania.
Yes.
We have Paradise PD.
We've really not touched. Yeah, and my son's not here right now, but he wanted me to make sure not to sleep on anime. So that you talk about Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, even
Harley
Pokemon.
Quinn.
Yes. So part of me goes, I would like to keep Batman and Invincible and The Simpsons, but because we've got a lot of other things in animation that have not been represented, especially like you said, that's what we talked about a second ago, with the world of anime or any type of international animation that is very popular in this country, I think maybe we don't put Archer and fill it with something that has maybe some additional global appeal. What do you think?
I agree that. I mean, I definitely agree that. I think Simpsons, Batman, the animated series, and Invincible all have the spots. Something like I'm thinking if we're gonna go with anime,
Yep.
my favorite is One Piece.
Fair.
I mean, One
Fair.
Piece is
Fair.
great. It's got live action. It's got the animated. It's got 1,000 episodes.
Yes.
I mean, Attack on Titan maybe, but like, I mean, like, One Piece.
Yep.
Leia likes One Piece. You know.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
My son loves One Piece. I watched it with him. I think that does it. I mean, One Piece. A lot of content creators I follow just also speak to it. It's a good show. It's a deep show, like I said, based on a lot of different points of view. A lot of different people can like the show, and for different reasons or similar reasons.
Yeah.
And again, I think it also speaks to a demographic audience that wasn't already captured by the other 3 shows. So, my brother, if we use The Simpsons representing old school, Invincible representing this is straight up for adults. We've got the anime world represented with One Piece, and give it up for probably, in my opinion, the best animated show that I've ever watched in Batman animated series. Also, and that's the other thing, Batman animated series also captures something that's based on a comic book. So it really is that comic book nerd love. So our list would be Batman animated series, Invincible, One Piece, and The Simpsons. Is that our Mount Rushmore, and is it we making it official?
If this is officially
in stone.
That's right. It is in stone now. The Batman, the animated series, The Simpsons, Invincible, One Piece is the Mount Rushmore of adult animation. If you think that yours is better, let us know. Let's talk about it. All right. Moving on. Anything else you want to say about that, I guess, really quick?
That's fun, man. That was great. That's great.
That was a good time. All right, man. Next, what do we got? We have games. I don't have anything.
I got one for you, my friend.
Awesome.
I knew we spent a lot of time talking wrestling tonight, catch up on both the Royal Rumble, on WrestleMania and Backlash. But it is May the 4th tomorrow. We're recording on May the 3rd. By the way, sir, May the 4th be with you.
Thank you. Oh, before we get in your game, I want to know, what do you think Star Wars is going to announce tomorrow? I know the finale, the last 2 episodes of Maul's coming out.
Yeah.
I think we're probably going to get a final trailer of The Mandalorian and Grogu.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking it would be. Yeah.
Is there anything else? I hear rumors.
Okay.
That we're going to get an announcement of an animated show called Tales of Luke Skywalker.
That would be amazing.
Granted, the site is not. I mean, it was like screen something or other. Yeah. So I mean, like, and I didn't like go into depth or anything like that. But yeah.
So I was leaning on we're going to get a longer final trailer for Grogu and the Mandalorian. I'm sorry, the Mandalorian and Grogu. It should be Grogu and the Mandalorian, by the way. But then the other part is, if they were to do a show, just got my brain thinking real quick. What I would love if they actually created an animated show, the life and times of Skywalker, whatever they're going to call it. If that is what it is, I think that's great. But here's truthfully a great untold story. Give us the life of the Wookiees. Take something and show us the Wookiees, right? So I know, and you've read far more of the books. Like, there's so much about Wookiee culture and canon in the books, and we got a little bit of that in the Acolyte and some of the other things. But I would love if they gave us a concentrated look at and not Chewbacca. I mean, seriously, just give us the Wookiees. I think they're in the merchandising, by the way, would be off the hook right away. I have enough. I have enough Ewok stuff for the rest of my life, but I would love it if you gave us something showing us the Wookiee. So that's my 2 cents.
I would love for, because I kind of think, especially right now, that Star Wars animation is better than the live action.
Yes.
And I would love to see some series of the High Republic, because right now I don't care about the High Republic. I would love to see something about the Old Republic, or you know what?
Yes.
Give it a clean slate. Give the Dawn of the Jedi. I don't know if they're still going to making that movie, but put that in animation.
That's a great idea.
You know?
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think any of those would be fantastic, but I think we can pretty much wrap our heads around and put our hats on something deeper with the Mandalorian and Grogu. And the reason that you would say Grogu the Mandalorian is forever has been the show The Mandalorian, and when you lead with Grogu and the Mandalorian, you can end the emphasis on that versus the Mandalorian and Grogu. It just doesn't work the same the other way.
Agreed.
So with that, knowing that we were going to be recording the day before May 4th, I have a new game for you, sir, and I'm calling this the Biography Beats.
Ooh.
And so what I am doing is I'm going to give you, I am not a lyricist, but I'm going to drop some bars that give you the bio of a character and see if you can guess who the character is.
Okay. I love it.
So I got 3 of them for you, but I got one that I think you can get pretty easily, but just to give you an idea what they'll look like. So I'm going to give you I'll do it a couple times. I'm going to do the bio beats, and we're going to see if you can figure out who I'm talking about.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. This master, it was one bad mother. Shut your mouth.
Mace Windu.
I hadn't even got that far, but okay. I'm going to finish the bar, though. I knew you'd get it easily. Okay. This master is one bad mother. Shut your mouth. Don't dare do him dirty like he was from the South. He always sits high and got that purple riz. If you cross his path, don't ask about his biz. He faces the Dark Lord, not Tom Riddle. His end came with a lightning strike that made him sizzle.
Love it.
All right.
Love it.
So now you get the roll of this. Okay.
Yeah,
so I got 2 more. See if you can grab them. All right, here we go. All right. Flap, flap. You hear those wings. If you have the coin, he'll sell you all the things. He makes deals using a fake-ass Rubik's. The way he talks to the ladies gives you all the icks. He loves a good bargain of that he raised. Be careful what you sign, who'll home you and your kids for the rest of your days.
Okay, can you one more time?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Flip, flap. I'm sorry, flap. I don't know if I said flip, flap.
Yeah.
Flap, flap. You hear those wings. If you have the coin, he'll sell you all the things. He makes deals using a fake-ass Rubik's. The way he talks to the ladies gives you all the icks. He loves a good bargain of that he raised. Be careful what you sign, or he'll own you and your kids for the rest of your days.
Jabba the Hutt?
No, close. I give you a hint. This one is from episode 1.
So, okay.
Flap, flap.
Watto.
You hear those? Watto. There you
Watto.
go.
Okay, flap,
All
flap. Yeah.
Yeah.
I should have figured where that was coming in, but everything else is going towards Jabba. Excellent.
All right. Yes. And now to think about that, that was definitely close to Jabba. All right. This one I'm getting a feeling you will pick it up pretty quick, but here we go. All right. From the way he thinks to the way he blinks, everything about this character absolutely stinks. The voices crass. They're full of sass. At the end of the day, you just want to kick his ass. With every scene, I want to crash out, lash out. I'm even developing a rash out. Only one option to choose is left to go. The most dangerous words in Star Wars are KO.
Misa! Jar Jar Binks!
Misa, yes. Jar Jar Binks. So, yes. So, as a reply, you got Mace, you got Jar Jar, and Watto was that. So, yes, the biohazard beat. So, we'll see if that makes a return. All right.
I love it. That was great, man.
All right. Are you ready for my honest ad?
I am ready.
Okay. So, here we go. Again, in preparation for Star Wars Day, that actually is my honest ad. On May the 4th, time stands still as we all embrace the power of will. We look to the Force, both Jedi and Sith. We stand together to rejoice and uplift. We all know the words, far, far away. Our love and appreciation of Star Wars will never sway. We learn lesson after lesson as we listen and grow. The coolest response to I love you will always be, I know. Han Solo, Chewie, and even the Ewoks contribute to the lore. R2 and C-3PO are indeed the droids that we were looking for. So buy the toys, wear the t-shirts, and always look to the sky. In the mortal words of Yoda, do or do not. There is no try. As you begin your week and in all that you do, from your buddies Brian and Brad, may the Force be with you. My honest ad for Star Wars Day.
Love it, love it, love it. Brian, I guess that leads us to your Better Than Us Human of the Week.
I got 2 for you. So number 1 is I got to give it to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Yesterday, as we were recording, was The Rock's 54th birthday. So congratulations, The Rock, my twin. Okay,
absolutely.
Of something. And then, because we've been talking Star Wars the second half of the podcast, we got to give it up to the man that's behind it all, the one, the only Mr. George Lucas. So Better Than Us Human of the Week. And I believe you may have been a visitor. Yes.
We have a cameo and a little Grogu.
Yes.
Leia, you want to say hi? It is Star Wars Day.
Star Wars Day is tomorrow. Oh, baby Yoda. Who's in the basket? Hello.
Hey there, Princess. How are you?
I'm good. How is yous?
I am good. I'm good. Are you ready for Star Wars Day tomorrow?
I am. Tomorrow's also my friend's birthday.
Very cool. Are they turning 4 by any chance?
No, but they're turning 14.
That's close enough. 14 on the 4th. All right. Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. How's your weekend been?
It's been good. We got pedicures, and then this guy was at work all week.
Yeah.
And then we went to China House and we ate food there.
China House is good.
And we went to go see the Devil Wears Prada too.
Nice. So, quick question for you: what is your go-to Chinese food? What if you had to only pick one dish from a Chinese buffet? Let's say, what are you getting?
Chinese rice.
Chinese rice. Okay. All right.
Fried rice.
Fried rice.
Yeah.
Chinese
Thank you.
fried
I'll
rice.
thank you. Tell your dad I said thank you. Okay.
He said thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. I appreciate that. All right.
Oh.
Well, me and your dad are getting ready. Oh, go ahead.
Me and my sister also made Oreo balls.
What is in an Oreo ball? Break that down for me.
It's crushed up Oreos and cream cheese, and you put them in the freezer for a while to cool them down.
Nice.
After you rolled them into balls, and then you put melted chocolate on them.
That sounds amazing. That sounds truly amazing. All right. Well, me and your dad are getting ready to close up the podcast. So can I get a bye-bye?
Baba. Me and my mama are gonna go watch The Friends of the Friends.
All right. How bye-bye,
Why did
Princess?
I was just gonna pivot.
Thank you. That's the
Oh.
only reference I get from that show is Pivot. Yes.
Get your hand away.
Can I,
Get your hand away.
can I have it back, please? Kids, they're wonderful. Have them.
Yes.
Okay, can I have my headphones back, please?
Aye.
Wow. I think I gotta take her to get her shots.
Rebel child.
So, by the way, thank you for the Pivot reference. That's the only Friends reference I know. So, thank you
Me
for
too.
that.
And I got
Pivot.
trivia.
Pivot. Yes.
Sure.
That's,
Bye.
Are you gonna watch Mortal Kombat 2 next week?
yes. Absolutely.
Let's.
Absolutely.
Right. Where were we at?
Oh, we're Better Than Us Human of the Week. So I said mine are The Rock, and you said in George Lucas. So it's your turn, my friend.
You know what? I'm gonna stick with the Star Wars theme. I'm gonna do George Lucas, of course, because we don't get a lot of things without George Lucas.
Absolutely.
And then, even though she tried to eat my ear, Princess Leia.
Leia. 100%.
So okay, before we sign off,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
a life-size cutout of Princess Leia. Okay,
Okay. The Carrie Fisher Princess
the
Leia.
Carrie Fisher, right? Yeah.
Okay.
The one where she's got the holding the blaster out in front of her.
I figured it was not her in the slave outfit. So yeah.
No, not
yeah.
with a daughter named Leia.
No, exactly.
And I put it in the window so you could just like see the head. So,
Okay.
like, if you're coming up, well, we had a sales guy show up yesterday. I think it
Sure.
scared the living shit out of him, and it was yeah, it was awesome.
As it should.
As it should.
Yes.
100%.
You mess with the princess, you get the horns, man.
That's right, man. How do we end all the episodes?
As always. All right, sir. So, first off, thank you, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us for what is the best part of our week. We hopefully is the best part of yours as you start. your week, just please remember these words of advice from your buddies, Brad and Brian. First off, never retreat, no surrender, and Goonies, never say die.
All right, remember, arguing on the internet is like fighting a Hydra. Cut one head off and 3 dudes named Kyle show up. Fighting maybe the dark web, you never know. Never say it can't get worse. The universe usually takes that personally. All right. All right, guys. Keep your eyes peeled. You know what? I'm probably not going to release any TikToks this week, so never mind. Don't worry about that. Don't forget to follow, like, drop a comment, share, and leave a 5-star review. Go buy my book on Amazon. Leave a review from that as well. 5 times. That's right. So remember, when the sky lights up,
we show up.
Because this is Bat Signals
from the multiverse.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.